perhaps 100 years from now, 2,000 years from now, can you imagine what they're going to say? The legends, you know, that are going to be created and made concerning, you know, people like Elon Musk and even Nikola Tesla and all that. You know, people are going to make mythologies out of them. Now, if, oh man, I'm just saying, y'all. So we can't necessarily say that things aren't true. This is the plausible deniability. This is why there will be and is a perpetual argument as to whether something actually took place or someone actually existed. Because how can nobody will be able to prove, you know, or very seldom will be able to prove that someone did not exist or something did not happen, or that someone did exist and that something did happen, right? Because just like a perfect example, once again, Santa Claus. You might argue that there was never a Santa Claus, a magician or what have you, that could go down a chimney, you know, that, you know, flew through the air, being pulled by reindeer, the sled being pulled by reindeer. You can make that argument, right? But then somebody's going to say, but he did exist. There wasn't a St. Nicholas. And I contend that is the same thing we do. That's all these giants, the stories of giants, the stories of Anunnaki, the story of fallen angels having sex with women and creating giants. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm convinced. I'm persuaded that we've been bamboozled, and we steady looking for aliens. We're steady looking for giants. We got people claiming to know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that claimed to had an uncle or grandpa that was in the military who knew a guy that saw another guy kill a red-headed giant. You know what I mean? That type of buffoonery and stupidity. And this is what we're thriving off of today. Meanwhile, and while we're arguing over this foolishness, our country, our very real and present country and land masses and his history are being taken away and eroded away. But we're still at each other's throats arguing as to whether, you know, giants exist, as to whether they landed on the moon, as to whether, you get what I'm saying? We're so fragmented. And we're not even paying attention to what actually matters. It's one of the indictments I have, at least in my upbringing, you know, and you might share in this, that, you know, in the as far as Christian tenets and values and being dogmatic about doctrines of religion and stuff like that, you missed out on the most important element of existence, and that is family, that is culture. You see what I'm saying? You freaking crippled your legacy. You crippled the legacy that is to come. You affected in a negative way through your non-production 2 and 3 generations in the future. You made us believe that it's going to be okay to be perpetually enslaved to the system and subjected to government subsidies and welfare, because this life does not matter. What matters is the life to come, the spiritual. But you did not empower me or empower us to know that truly, as the scripture plainly states, that the kingdom is within us. It's not without us. And you quoted that scripture for decades of my life, but then you didn't live in such a way. You in fact lived as if everything was without and I was no good. And that without a God external to my natural self, I can do nothing. Without God, I would do nothing. Without God, I would but fail. Are you serious right now? Without God, I would be drifting like a ship without a sail. What's a ship without a sail? In the middle of the freaking ocean without a sail, just drifting along, being pushed by every wave that comes by, subject to the elements, have no covering, just drifting on the sea called life without any direction. That's what we're saying. We've been taught, we've been indoctrinated to believe. That's what our life is worth on this side of reality without God. And then you didn't even give us specificities on what God is, who God is. No, because we're not supposed to ask questions. Because we're not supposed to doubt. Because you thought Hebrews chapter 11 verse 1, the foundational scripture of Christianity, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, and all you did was hem and hod and preach that, right? Now God said that this and this and this and and that's where you left us at. And so now we sit here in our 40s and going into our 50s and still trying to discover what life really means, why we're here. Why won't God show up for us? Why do bad things happen to good people? Why are babies killed? I thought God hated merciless killing of the innocent and the unborn and all this kind of stuff, but yet he finds purpose in doing just that. That's what you taught. That's what you teach. So as it's stated and said nowadays, make it make sense, because none of that makes any sense to me, and it don't make sense to you if you took the time to think about it. It just doesn't. But now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And I can ask anyone that has sat through church for as long as I have, and they will not be able to tell you what that scripture means. No, now faith is the substance of things hoped for. They'll be able to, state it. They'll be able to say it, rehearse it, but they won't know what it means. But you know what? I know what it means. I know what it means. And it's not what you tried to tell us it meant. Huh? Not even a little bit. Anyways, I'm off my soapbox. 8 minutes, 50 seconds. Just want to put some things on your mind to consider. Stop being fooled, y'all. Hey, sooner or later, it's all going to fall down anyways. And I'm not talking about the system. Well, in a way I am. Because the whole Judeo-Christian tenets and sentiment and all that's falling. All that's coming down. It's all going to come down. So let me ask you a question. If you find yourself addicted, because that's who needs church, that's who needs their AA programs, right? That's who needs sponsorships. That's who needs to pay tithes, right? Pay that tithe, that tithe, right? So that you can show your allegiance, that tax. Those who need that, right, are those who need that type of help. You need that type of assistance, because guess why? They've convinced you that there's nothing good in you, that you cannot do it on your own. Just like AA. Doesn't AA tell you you must find a power that is outside of yourself? because you are not able to do it yourself. Doesn't that sound a lot like Christianity? Now, I'm going to put this on the end of this, and I'm going to leave you with this, okay? Don't get me wrong. If you need help, if you find yourself in alcoholism, drug usage and abusing and can't function and whatever, or if you can function but you're just, you're overwhelmed with drugs and alcohol, by all means, go to AA, go to church, go to any group that you can find that will act as a sponsor, that will help you along your route and along your way, right? And by all means, you can't do it, I guess, so then depend on somebody outside of you, okay? But if the government, the United States government and colonization, the fact of colonization and the history hasn't taught you anything, whenever you take a benefit from a higher authority or power, to him, her, or it, you become a slave. Want to fact check me on that? We can do that history. I've researched that. I can give you the rundown. All right? Tell you what the Civil War was really about. Huh? I'll tell you what it was really about. I'll tell you about the United States history from 1789 all the way up until 1868 and tell you what was really going on and why they did what they did. But I digress. Anyhow, make it a great day. Happy Friday. All right, and I'll see you on the next upload. Just some things to think about. Hey, I was on that talk show or that podcast over at Cold Fields the other day. I like that. I like that setup. I like that format. I would like to have people on and have a think tank and have a talk session and all that. Kind of like a talk show and talk about real issues, not Hollywood. Talk about the issues that actually matter and that will actually grow us. Okay? So I'm gonna think this through. I'm gonna think this through and see what I can set up. Okay? I really like that. I really appreciate Cold Fields for having me on. But anyways, again, make it a great day, and I'm gonna go get some work done for Cityscape. Look out for it. CityscapeMKE.com. That's Cityscape, one word. Cityscape MKE, as in Milwaukee.com. All right? Look for it. I'm going to manifest something through there, and we're going to take that thing all the way up. All right? Any other questions? Hit me up in the comment section, or if you know how to get in contact with me, my email, which one do I want to use? Let's use knowledgewell4u@gmail.com. knowledgewell, the number 4, the letter U, @gmail.com. All right? Got any questions, any comments, anything you would like to talk about, topic-wise or whatever, let me know. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Peace. Bye.